ladies. We are back with another. I got my girlfriend here, Sherelle Avery of the Dope Stepmom. As a matter of fact, sit back a little bit so they can see you. Sit back. Sit back. Hey. I need a shirt, though, girl. I need a shirt.
I got you.
Sherelle runs step.com, which is a website that talks about her own stepmothering journey. She just delivered a baby boy who was just got, so she shares everything, the secret behind the steps. Sherelle, how did you come up with a name?
So everybody used to always ask me, what's step parenting? They would see me and my stepchildren and be like, oh my God, what's your secret? How do you, build these bonds and things like that? So they will always say like, what's your secret? What are you doing? What's your secret? So I was like, you know what? When I was thinking to be in there. So.
Oh, that's so good.
So I'm like, okay, I thought about it like, well, what is my secret? So I'm like the step. First it was going to be my step, but then I just felt, the step was a little more,
Oh my God, let's talk about how long you've been married. What was your introduction like into stepmotherhood? That was 3 questions in one, but you got it. You can handle all of them.
Follow this. I've been married for 7 years. I have 2 stepchildren. One is 13. And what was the last question? I'm sorry.
What was your introduction like into
that one word?
Oh, what was your introduction into stepmotherhood?
Okay.
Was it amazingly beautiful?
No. So my step parenting was not nice. So my husband was like my high school sweetheart going play. So we were in high school together. We went on our prom in 2003 and things like that. And then, after high school, not bad, but just, after high school, you move on. I went on to school. He went on to do things. And then I met back up with him and children. So after that, we dated again. After, high school, it was about 4 years. We dated again and he had 2 children. Both by 2 different women. So it was 2 total. But then we dated. We tried to work through it. Of course, we got through it now, but it was a lot of twist and turn in the middle, of course.
Yeah.
So my
introduction,
it wasn't all butterflies and lovely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is your theory of, I guess success is such a loaded word because just when we think,
right,
we have a graduation or a birthday or a birth or a death or a life change, and then you're in a new area of theory behind stepmotherhood and making it all work.
So I would say my theory behind I am being 100% genuine and being honest with myself. So that was something that I had to learn very early to. With step parenting, you want everything to feel good and right, and you want the love to be there all the time, constantly. But one thing that I noticed with myself is sometimes I wasn't being honest to myself out for me. I can give you an example with step parenting. Sometimes you kind of put your own things that you may want out of things to the side to try to make things just work. And that ultimately doesn't work. Just make sure that I'm being genuine with everything I do. As long as I'm being pure at heart and trying to do my best with all of my intentions, then that is okay with that. So that's my thing. If it doesn't work, if it works, if it doesn't work, we'll try to figure it out. Being honest, I'm being loving, so that's it.
In my opinion, there are issues that a lot of stepmothers face. It's either high conflict biological mother, unruly stepkids, or not good at setting boundaries. Which one of those? Okay, I was going to ask which one have you all 3, so let's break it down. Speak to your experiences with the first one. High conflict mom. Worked it out within yourself.
So what's good about my high conflict biomom, we went through a lot of things, but the end all be all, like our relationship now is 100% good, like with one another. So we went from the beginning actually fist fighting to building now, but it's the truth. Like, and sometimes it goes there. So it does. It does. Like even if it doesn't even go to fist fighting, you feel like, this is just crazy. But we were a lot younger when this thing was new to both of us. And this is just my oldest stepchild's mother, both of my stepchildren, and which is also interesting in itself because it shows you how if there was feelings in a relationship, my husband and he had like I don't want to call her a oops baby, but they didn't have him in, like a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. So there wasn't really any real ties there, just the baby. When he had a relationship with and was in a relationship with, and there was still, that's a different dynamic.
Complicated emotions.
Right. So going through
and
that,
here you come, while she's trying to unravel her old dude and trying to love on her kid, and it's like a no-no.
Right.
It's hard.
Absolutely. Because they're a child. So it was like, okay, they were already over, because that situation happened. So I'm coming in now. Right. Hey, we have these two children, we have these two moms, and it was always the issue with the biomom because there was open wounds. So
absolutely. So it sounds like he had another baby, and then the relationship with you. So she didn't even have a chance to heal from her first slap in the face, which they'll put us in no-win situations. You know what I mean? Like, you make it very hard for us to succeed in our role as stepmoms, and then we create to help other people try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So many women, and I guess I was wrong, because it's always been one of my things with the biological mother. That makes it kind of hard. Like, on my end, I feel like if that happened, then we couldn't be in the same room anymore, because you know what I mean?
No, I understand. I understand.
How do you go from, like, you're dragging each other on the kiki and go to Starbucks?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, definitely it took time, just separate, give each other our time. We went like a year after we had a physical altercation to not even speaking, seeing. And that was a good thing in my step-parents and family, because it gave them time to learn how to just together without me being involved. I was still with him. We still lived together. He still got his child, at that time. So things like that was normal. So yeah, we had a year apart that we didn't even talk, and it did give them time to build like their communication and just get their stuff together without me being involved. Once I felt like, okay, we're going to have to move forward. And this move forward, we're going to have to try to blend together, because I'm not going nowhere. Evidently, she's not going nowhere. And we still built our relationship. So it was weird. It felt like we was putting a child in the middle to kind of, like he.
Yeah. So, yeah. Kids know.
You're right. The thing with that is I had to come to a point where me and my husband got it. One thing would be good for us to try to build a relationship all together. And in the beginning, at first she was kind of like, no, and then build a friendship. But we had to give each other our time. Like, the moment that I was ready, she wasn't ready. And the moment that she was like, okay, a little bit. So we had to respect each other's feeling, respect each other's time, like respect each other getting over the wounds.
Right. Wow. That sounds like you're two women that were ready to heal, though. Is the situation?
Yeah. So with the other situation, it wasn't hard because there were connections or anything like that. So her main focus, even though she wasn't, we have full custody of my my son and daughter. So I'm just saying that, with my stepdaughter, we have full custody. He's had full custody. Input as it was with my stepson, because they had shared custody, and she was very much involved. There was no issues. She just wanted what was best for her daughter. What was best for her daughter was to be with her father. And that was that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
How do you? Because you're a woman, and there's a lot of women that'll be watching this that are still in conflict.
Right.
Did you ever? Because I'm pretty sure there was a time where you thought, I will never be cool with this woman. We'll never be friends. Especially after. What was kind of the transition or the catalyst to saying, all right, to be friends with her, and she might be ready to be friends with me? Like, what happened?
The thing that my relationship with my stepson was at a cap. If I could not have a good relationship with the person that he loved the most, cap at all. So it was worth me putting every issue and feeling that I had to the kind of relationship that I wanted for my family was bigger than the issue.
Wow. Yeah. A lot of women out here, they want to love their stepkids, but there's still that angst that they have with mom. And some of them are ill feelings against her. But how did you open the conversation? Did you first talk to your husband and then you got?
Yeah. So I first talked to my husband because I learned very early that if me and him weren't on the same page, so what I first had to do was get on the same page with him. Initially, when I bought it to him, he was like, no, because he just didn't want to go there.
It's so much drama. Yeah.
It's working the way it is right now. Everything is fine, kind of guy. You know, guys don't conflict. They try to tippy-toe around everything. So,
and they're the ones that really put us in these situations, exactly. And they don't want to deal with it. No,
exactly.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So initially he was like, you know, no, everything is working. We're getting him. You know, this is not what I want, you know, and I'm not happy with it this way. And I don't want to live conflict. You have to try to figure it out. So a little bit of time went with him, and then me and him visited the conversation, reached out to her and was like, you know, we all need to sit down and talk. And we all sat down together.
So she agreed to sit down. Why did she agree? Because she could have said, no, there's no benefit for me and me sitting down and talking to your wife. Me and you co-parent. Why? But why did she agree?
I think she agreed because she told me, you know, we talk all the time now, but she realized how much her son loved me. He asked her one day, was it okay for him to love me? Like, she knew that we were going to have to do something else, like other than just not speak. Like, she was like, even if we could just be cordial to do, she wasn't going into the relationship at first, like, okay, we're going to be friends. And because I wasn't either, but then who said, like, I would just rather get to know you to feel comfortable with you being around and so involved. Because at that point, we're transitioning as well. They were going through court, and my husband had gained custody, majority and majority, you know, from our home. So it was like,
oh, okay.
We have to figure something out.
Key female influence, so it's difficult. Yeah.
Right.
Is your stepson still mostly custodial with you guys, or have you changed?
She did that for about 3 years, and then she moved, and he wanted to go to the school in her district, and then they agreed. And now he's mostly doesn't want anything to do with none of us, but
yeah.
But yeah,
no, he has a life of his own. No.
Right.
He's on Snapchat. He's on TikTok.
I can't keep up.
Yes. Lord, my stepdaughter is 15 years old now too. So no, she doesn't have time for any of us.
Right.
It's an amazing thing that you two have been. I can't say too many people watching this have actually had physical blows. A lot of us have wanted to. There has to, from what you said about her, it sounds like whatever hatred or dislike or with your presence, the love for her child superseded all of that.
Right.
How could a mother, like if a stepmother wants, you know, to just be like, listen, can you love your kid more than you hate me and release this child because your child really likes me? Appeal to a woman who's kind of sensible, not somebody that's, you know, riddled with problems and self-hate and mental illness. A woman who is kind of scared. She's not really high conflict. She's just afraid. What is a stepmom supposed to say, or who?
Well, I think every family is different. In my situation, It was best for my husband because he was the middle ground. Me and her had no communication at that point. But I would say, and I wrote this in a blog, most of the times where we go wrong with this is we expect this person to be on the same level that we're on. And if they're not, she didn't want to hear it. Or, okay, I was ready and she wasn't, now I don't have time. Kind of mentality, you know, people time. So I would say visit the situation, whoever it's best to reach out. Even if the stepmom reach out and just, you know, be genuine. You get all nice, all happy, you know, be real with your feelings and how you feel. And however that is, communicate that with her, because if you don't build anything on a real honest foundation, it's going to crumble anyway. Yeah.
That's what try. And, you know, if mom is like, no, I'm not ready. I don't want that. They're like, well, fine, forget it. I don't want it.
Right.
And, you know, it's just because, you know, it's kind of our ego speaking.
Right.
You know, you're like, oh, she rejected me once. I won't give her that chance again. When sometimes and be open to it. I think I made a post the other day and it said something about, you know, so many women said, they were like, so much has happened. I don't think that I could ever forgive her or let that go. But what that family probably is always going to be in is push and pull if somebody doesn't decide to just completely crumble the walls, you know?
Exactly. And that's my part. It's like, what is the most important to you? Is the family, like, is the family more important than you want to overcome your whole life? Because in all actuality, if the issues are more important, then you're always going to be lugging this issue.
Everything. When step grandkids come, weddings, illnesses. Like, it's going to be a long bunker. Okay. So then we talked about, so all three. So then now, next issue, the problematic stepchild, let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
What was your experience like with that?
So the problematic, so I have wrote a blog before, and it says, the title is "Who is Dickhead?" Because once upon a time, my step like saved my number, my contact as Dickhead in her girl. If I could tell you the stories like this, crazy.
Oh my God.
But
no,
yeah,
she did not.
About 10, I think.
10 years.
10 years old. And my contact was Dickhead. Like in a level of what I try to do is just her way of reacting towards me because of what she doesn't have, because her mother isn't really present. So we got full custody when she was 5, I believe. She was 5, 4, 5, somewhere. So for a couple of, we have very good relationship. We have this bond, and then something would happen, and she would just disgust it.
Mama hurt.
Right.
She was carrying all that pain and projecting it on you, the present
Absolutely,
mother.
because I was the one there. So she wasn't going to project it on him. And then he most of the time had daddy guilt, what I called it. I'm writing about to make her happy. So it was just, because of what she lacked. So he didn't see no discipline and no dealing with this and she's dealing with that. And we came to a conclusion where it was like, nah, this is not going to fly. We have to figure something out because, again, over how I feel. I'm not living my life with this stuff, or with these issues that I can't even deal with because you and y'all are putting me in a bad place.
Yes.
So building that was trying. It's love. Like, it took a lot of me having to love her through her pain. And that is when you're being like rejected and nasty to you. They don't want to be bothered with you. And you have to learn how to give them their space and still show them your love at the same time.
How do you deal with the rejection and sometimes disrespect?
Yeah.
And you're being told, oh, process anger. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt us as adults, but how did you navigate just the day-to-day knowing that what's a strong word, dislikes you and you're just trying to love her?
Yeah. So what I had to do first was I had to get on the same, because we had to be on the same page about what was allowed and what was not allowed, what was not. And once we set those ground rules, it was easier to start to build. And him have to be on the same page, and we have to be consistent. And once we became consistent and on the same page, it was harder. She didn't like me some days, or she wanted her mom. She didn't want anything to do with me. It was, trying to think of the word. I don't know. I can't think of the word, but it was, I'm trying.
So how did you,
Go ahead.
How did you help her process her emotions and let her know, like, listen, mother, the feelings of anger you have on her onto me? How do you, do you just tell her that, or did you get her therapy or with her?
So she went to therapy. We started having very honest, real conversations. And I would talk to her and tell her, like, eventually you'll see, like, you're going to grow up. Like, kids, they know in the back of their mind, told or taught, they know from action. And that's what I would tell her. I would say, my actions will speak for themselves. To disrespect me, but I'm still going to love you. So, you can't call me a dickhead. Yes, I am taking your iPad. You won't have it again. Still love you, but you won't be allowed to disrespect me at all.
Ever in your life.
Ever in your life.
Ever in your teen.
Ever.
Because obviously you were in tune enough to know that she was acting abandoned. And typically, kids do lash out. If they have an absentee parent, they lash out at the absentee. Like, a kid would lash out at stepdad if dad was absent. Were you able to include her conversations to ask for some help?
I did not. I was able to because we had open communication. Not choose to with her because her relationship with her mother wasn't what it was good for the sake of conversation. Okay. It wasn't because that's what she wanted. So me involving her would have just made it worse. A better relationship with her mother, and that wasn't available at the time. Her mother
It wasn't possible.
Right, it was not possible. So this is my own, and it took. Don't get me wrong. I cried many nights. I cried to my husband plenty of times. I was angry at him. Crazy. I can't deal with this. I'm not going to allow this. We have to figure it out. And even when she was rejecting me, it just made me feel like it was never going to get better. But prayer, and it took a lot of
changes.
It took a lot. I had to just be consistent with waking her up when she was mad. Hey, get up. Hey, beautiful. I love you. Okay, get up. Got an attitude. Like, and I'm just.
And you just took it. You just took it.
She has an attitude, and she's gonna have. Okay, and she got over it. It wasn't a long time, but I would say like a couple of months. It was like,
oh my God. Okay, last one. The man in the middle, the man that does not know how to set. You dealt with that too. We all have.
Yes.
All of us. I have too.
Yeah.
I don't ask about this one. Speak to your experience with poor boundary setting. You mentioned earlier that he had a little bit of guilt because he's wild. And so, a parent is going to probably blame themselves. Like, oh, I put my child in this position by making a bad choice. You see dad guilt in real life. How did it show up in you guys' situation?
So what happened was I would know an issue or something that she did. He would just brush it off. That's normally how it starts. And it normally makes you frustrated as a step parent. Okay, like what is going on here? So everything that this child does is just going to be allowed because that's what it feels like. And it's them alone. Like it's them and then it's you. Like that's how it starts to feel. So dealing with that is not going to work because I feel alone, and I don't want to feel alone in my marriage because of a child. So that was a very hard hurdle that we had to get over, and it took time. I had to be consistent with showing him like when he did doing it.
Yeah.
They just don't
know. Sometimes they don't know.
Conflict. They just don't want to, because the guilt was different for the child. My stepdaughter was, her mom wasn't there. He wanted her life to be as best as possible because he felt like she already dealt with a lot. Son, it was, I just went to court. We just got custody. I don't want to make his mom mad again. So I'm going to tiptoe and just around that. So guilt. And I'm like, sir, I mean,
and as he's tiptoeing, he's making your life is over there. So you're like, why am I the only one that's uncomfortable?
Exactly. And so you're trying to make everybody else happy except. So the first thing that we had to do was, I had to be consistent in pointing it out and letting him know this why, and this hurt, and this is why. And he got tired of me consistently saying it, and he's like, okay, we had and we had to get on the same page. It just wasn't all of what I wanted and all of what he wanted, but of course we had to get us in what was going to happen. And I could see him cringe every time he had to discipline his daughter in the beginning. Like,
it's like, dude, you're making her a better woman. Like, you're gonna raise a disciplined child. You can't last question. Yeah, I see your t-shirt. I know your Instagram name, Dope Stepmom. What stepmom?
You just, not to brag, but.
What makes it?
Well, I would say what makes a dope stepmom is someone who's really being genuine, someone who is trying to help their spouse do the best with raising their child. I think that's sometimes how we get, a little bit misconstrued, because doing this, the stepmom should be happy, or I'm doing this, she should be happy I'm in her child life. But no, you signed up to help your husband raise him. So you're there for your spouse, and it has nothing to do with, with this girl or this biomom. Yeah. So, Jen, being there for your stepchild, being there for your husband, and just making sure that you are always being honest and true to yourself.
Sherelle Avery, everybody. Tell them where they can find you. Tell the service that you offer. For everybody that wants a t-shirt, I want a t-shirt. Let them know and support your brand.
Yeah, well, I'm Philly based. I do have a website, and it's with a blog. It's The Secret. I did change on Instagram. It's Dope Mom brand. But you can also, because I started the Dope Fit Mom with that whole thing, so I just made a Dope Mom brand. But the website is The Secret Behind the Step, or you can do dopefitmom. On Instagram, I'm Dope Mom brand, and on Facebook, you can find the Facebook group, The Secret Behind the Step.
I've been looking at your shirt and in the name that I met you at. I'm sorry, like, I like that name, by the way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like it. I think you're dope if you're a stepmom. I think you're dope if you're a mom. I think you're a dope fit mom. Sherelle and this month's expert workshop. And my goodness, what expertise she brought to us. Sherelle has literally dealt with it all. And support her brand, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the VIP Stepmom community. And I will see you next time. All right.